Well, good morning. It is Sunday morning. I'm going like crazy because it's spring break. So this is it. This is the final bow as we get ready to finish.
Can you dig it?
As we get ready to finish this spring break, this is the final bow. Yes, we do it with a final confession. And here on Sunday morning, what a great day it's supposed to be. Got some mowing to do and plenty of other things. But first, as they always say on TV, but first. You're like, you said but first. Um, but first, I'm gonna grab my coffee because I left it over here. Hi, good morning. We can't say good morning without a good cup of coffee, right? Everybody into coffee? Anybody into coffee? I didn't used to like coffee when I was growing up, but I always loved the smell of it. And my folks would brew it up, and it would just be something. It would be, and we'd all start chatting about, whatever. Sometimes, I mentioned it the other day that my parents, whenever I kind of caught into one of their conversations, it was something I could latch into. They would involve me in the conversation, so that was kind of cool. I don't know if that happens a lot anymore. I don't know that some these kids may not want to have conversations with their parents, but I do know it happens, and it's a great thing. I really enjoy conversations with my kids. I just was having one, as a matter of fact. I'll make mention of it because it deals with music. Uh, so I was just checking in with my son because of this trip that I made yesterday. We've got something here to go through, as I mentioned in the thing. Um, it's a vinyl confession and a pickup. We also had I picked up some things yesterday on a little bit of a journey into my old neighborhood. You ever done that? You have an old job and you'll drive through the old neighborhood where your job was. Fortunately, I've always kind of worked close to home. I always wanted it to be that way. I don't like long commutes. And when some people tell me how far they have to drive, I'm like, I can't believe you do that. That's just wild. Um, you know, but sometimes they don't mind it, and sometimes they tell me that they work that far away with a scrunchy nose and they don't like it. But I've always tried to work close to home. So anyway, with that, um, I did go on a little adventure yesterday. Had a little errand to run for my dog. I wanted to take her with me, but I did take her the day before, but the office had already closed, so I couldn't get her medicine. So I had some more shopping to do in my old neighborhood. And there's some really nice shops in my old neighborhood. I kind of like kind of what they've done with it. Some of the things closed down um, while we were living there, or just after we were there. And some of the things closed down, but then other things have opened up, and it's really, really cool. It's really nice. We got people in the chat already this morning. Casey, you were first. Look at that. Hello, hello. You're going to say you are at it early, but it's only early for me. That is absolutely right. It is early for you. And yeah, not so much for me. I've been up for 2 hours, I guess. Yeah. Yes. The final vinyl confession for spring break this year. I'll have one more spring break and then bye bye. Uh, we've heard it a million times, right? On TV, they go, but first. You're like, stop saying but first. Oh man, didn't like coffee till I used it to stay awake during a drive across the US. There you go. We all have our motivations and our reasons why. I started drinking some coffee in my late 40s. Drink it now and then. Yeah, I drink it every day. It's um it's I guess it's something it's a staple because most of the people around me like to drink coffee. My best friend, she drinks coffee, and we hang out and drink coffee. Um, so it's nice, it's fun, it's relaxing. Because I think she even makes decaf when we get together. I had a job that I walked out to for 10 years. You walked to? I mean, you walked to. I can't read this morning. I'm sorry. It may be earlier for Casey, but it's still early for me, evidently. I had a job that I walked to for 10 years. Commuting to work by car became unsustainable. Yeah. Here's also the thing, too. uh, There was a point at which uh, my wife had a car, and then we got married, and then one night, let's see what happened to it. It finally took a crap, and we had to get rid of it, and we got a van because we had kids. And but it was I don't know, either that or we got the van and then we got rid of no, we got rid of my car and we got the van. I think is the way it went. And so then her car took a crap, and then we were down to one car, which that's just the way it goes. But the cool thing about it was the fact that I drove everybody to their respective places in the morning, and we all went together. There was 4 of us in the car at that time. We would, drop our son off at school, and then we would drop off our daughter at the babysitter, and then I would take her to the train, and the train was station was right by my work, so I'd just drive right down the road then and go to work. So it was this cool little circle. Well, then we bought this other car, and those days were over. So um, it was kind of sad for me a little bit because even though I was happy that we were able to get another car, things were moving along. Still, I missed taking everybody to work. I live in the country, not walking anywhere. Well, that's cool. How do you like that, Casey? Do you like living out in the country? My nephew lives kind of out in a rural area, just outside of a little town over in Kansas City area. So, and it's nice. They found a real nice house, and it's just amazing. It's a good size house, but it doesn't look like it. I mean, to look at it, you're like, that's a good size house, but when you get in it and you go upstairs, you go downstairs, it's really, really a great house. Whoever designed it did a great job. And it is a theater room. Yum, 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 yum. Coffee is good stabilizer for me. Good. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I don't think it's a like that so much that it's, you know what I'm saying, chemically. Sometimes I think it's just a good stabilizer because it just is hot or warm, however you like it, and or cold, even iced down. It's just a good um it's a good social drink if you're not supposed to be drinking early in the morning. And plus, you can put things in it if you want. If you want to relax and put things in it, you could put things in it. Like I'd love to go upstairs and make me an Irish coffee. I've been hankering for one of those for a while. I don't know that they use the word hankering over in Ireland, but I suppose if you said it right, you just say, "I've got a hankering for an Irish coffee." Maybe if you do it like that, maybe. But yeah, carpooling is fun. It can be fun. We've also seen different times where it isn't fun or people don't like it, but they still do it. So anyway, so let's move on here. I did a pickup. I went over to do some errands, like I said, but I didn't even start with the major thing that I was going to do. I was driving in my old neighborhood. I figured the fastest way to get there, and then as I'm driving there, there's a Dollar General. I don't know if you guys shop at Dollar General, if you've got that in your area or whatever it is. Sometimes there's Family Dollar, or what do you guys have in your areas where you can go to those convenience stores that are inexpensive and you can buy sometimes you can get laundry detergent, but maybe it's not the big one, maybe it's a smaller one for a lesser price, and save a few bucks or whatever it is. They usually will have tools. I just walked through this place. I hadn't been in a Family Dollar for a family, not a Family Dollar, a Dollar General in a long time. But it seems like I always find some kind of interesting item there. And then they still, even these inexpensive places like that, have a clearance area. So it's great to shop the clearance area. Plus, they always have movies. Now, Papa Pete turned me on to that again when uh he told us that he found a copy of Speed Racer years ago for real cheap, like $4.99 or something like that at a Dollar General. I think that's what he told me he got it at. But yeah, Dollar Tree. There's Family Dollars and Dollar Generals further out. Yes. Okay, good. Right. We have those as well. And it's the Dollar Tree, which now should be called Five Below, and Five Below should now be called 10 Below. So I don't understand. I mean, I get it. You're not going to change the name of your places. I get that. That costs money and it seems silly. But there again, you're lying. It's not a Dollar Tree anymore, per what the dollar used to mean. Now there's Dollar General. That doesn't mean everything's for it's, you know, I don't know what they're trying to say. Generally a dollar, something. At least it's cheaper, right? But that's what we knew when walking in the door. They never said everything's a dollar. And but Dollar Tree was like everything's a dollar, but not anymore. They have $5 t-shirts, so it should be Five Below, whereas Five Below changed, moved everything up, and now it's, $10 and below. So let's get some honesty in our names, shall we? Like Viking Stew. See, my brother was always concerned about that. He goes, maybe you ought to back off on that. I think I've mentioned it before. I still have to download these. I picked these up. You remember I was telling you about these, the David, which was weird because I found these David Benoit CDs at the library on sale for 50 cents. And Papa Pete and I had just been talking about it. And remember this Turk Murphy? I still have to, I'm getting ready to download those in. And also, what was this one? William Tyler. This one is the one that had the eye on it. So I'm going to be downloading those into my system today to check those out, and move forward with that. Then also, I talked with my buddy Sam from the Midnight Devils. They've just finished up most of the recording for the brand new album. So if you've been listening to those guys per this show, get out there and let them know. Check on their Facebook page and see where they are. They've got some cool reports out there. In fact, I'll share one today. I might even be able to do it like right now, um, just to help things out because I really enjoy those guys, and I look forward to working with them more over the years here and see how they progress. Midnight Devils. Sam's a really cool guy. He's really really a lot of fun. Just a great guy to talk to, very sincere. And let's see here. Where's that? Where is that? He had an announcement the other day where he was talking about it. Oh, that's some kind of cool art. Wow. I can't wait to see what kind of artwork they're going to come up with next. I don't know why I'm not finding it. Maybe because they do an awesome job of posting a lot, maybe. Let me see. That's 5 days ago. So maybe I'm getting close because it's been a few days ago since they were in the studio. But anyway, I just talked with Sam. He said that they've got a few more tracks to work on. And so they're going to be doing that coming up soon, right around Easter. And all right. So I don't know. I'll find it and I'll share it nonetheless. And everything's coming together. They got just a few more things to iron out on recordings to go back in and take care of a few things. Then the album should be coming out sometime soon. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a lightning news flash from the studio with Sam coming up soon. So pay attention for that. This coming soon, this next month. And he thought that would be a lot of fun. I was like, I think that would be a blast. So yeah. So let's see, Dollar Tree. Let's see what we got. I worked at a dollar store, but they called it Royal Bargains, so they could charge whatever. See what I mean? That's okay though. Royal Bargains, as long as you're getting a bargain. Now that's what happened yesterday. Are you guys ready? Let's get into this. So this is something that the one reason I like going to these stores and find bargains is because again, go to the clearance area, you never know what you're going to find. I just bought this new iron machine back here where it's a heat transfer machine, and it's 15 by 15, so I'm getting ready to use that. And so whenever I find t-shirts, I go ahead and pick them up, and they had a couple of Hanes t-shirts. These aren't the highest of quality t-shirts, but the cool thing is they're thin. So so this one I may do some artwork on it. Just maybe use some fabric paints and do some artwork. I'm really getting into that lately, and I may do that even with my Hammer Away sweatshirt that I just got, my hoodie. Today I'm wearing a Graham bonnet. Thank you to Graham and Bethany for sending me the shirt. It's a great, awesome shirt, and I'm telling you, Drew, you usually listen to things that I suggest. I suggest you listen to the latest Graham Bonnet album. Uh, just listen to the last couple of albums. I apologize to them for not listening to those because they're great records. I was like, man, these are really, really good. So I was like, I can't believe I haven't been listening to these. The other thing too to listen to, I don't know if you're into pop, kind of a rock pop, and it even starts off with some blues. uh, is Owen Beverly. I just saw it on Rick Beato's show. He was covering that because he had produced it and had it on a hard drive. But you can go out there on Spotify and listen to it. We were talking about it yesterday, as a matter of fact. I just listened to all of it and was listening to the full album that's out there as well. And then there's another project that he was featured on that project. So 3 albums out there you can check out. That and the Chris Gaines is still in my background, Drew. So yeah, found these t-shirts. So this is something that I'll save to do a transfer, and it's kind of thin, so it's kind of cool that in the summer it won't be very hot. That's what I always find, especially with black. You can't go too much. So let's get the bag rolling. So the first thing, and the reason that I went into this place was because of DVDs. I'll usually, like I said, Papa Pete said he found Speed Racer years ago, and I went in and found a few things myself. Though I pulled out something else first, so we'll check those out in a second. And there's a reason why I got those. It's a little not necessarily what I would do, but when I was looking through the DVDs, this is what I was discussing with my son today. Um, Already this morning, I remembered years ago there was the band Owl City. And so I was looking through these. There was a live DVD by Owl City there. And so I said, checked in with him this morning, and I said, didn't you like, did you like those guys? And he said, what did he say? Uh, Unfortunately, yes. I said, ooh, not a fan of the OC anymore, eh? So I just saw their live DVD. I told him, he said, well, I would say that was about the right place to find that media. They were a flash in the pan of cutesy indie pop in high school. So there you go. Everything's got its time, right? So hopefully, you never know. It might come back around. Things are cyclical, but not all, not everything meets the cycle. I did keep all the CDs and things that they gave me, though. They're like, I'm done with this. I can get rid of it. I'm like, well, give it to me. I'll just put it in my collection. It'll be good to have in the collection, and we can go from there. So, so I found some DVDs and Blu-rays. I did find more, but I put some away. But as I was looking at them, the gentleman who I guess manages the store came up and said, "Hey, any DVDs that you find there, I'll just they're all you can get them, take them half off." All right, 50% off. All right, I'll do that. So, what did I find? I found something something blue. I found something old, something new, and something blue. Oh my God, can you believe this is a new thing? I didn't even think about this. This is a new epiphany I just had on what I purchased on DVD yesterday. Are you guys ready for this? But first, I listened to the Odyssey this morning, and for Mia last night. I'll definitely check out Bonnet. Yes, that's you're is that right? Yeah, you're right. Bonnet, not TT. You are absolutely right, Drew. Um, Life's a boomerang. Yes. Okay, I had to get some coffee. Machine is free at work. All right, all right. Very good. Very good. So I got something old. Wait, but I didn't borrow anything, I guess. Isn't that right? Something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. There you go. So I left out the right thing. No, wait. Oh, okay. Let me push the issue in just a minute. So here's something old. I got two of them because I didn't have one of them on Blu-ray, so now I can get rid of one on DVD. Um, and maybe I could even use it as a uh, something for the show here. I can make it a giveaway. That's a great thing to do with the stuff I get rid of. Because it's worth it. It's really good, and he just passed away, as a matter of fact. There's a couple of ties to both of these films for me, personally. The first one, is an old classic, and I'll leave the price tag on it, but it's, came out when I was a kid, probably about the same time as, um probably about the same time as Island at the Top of the World, and it's The Hindenburg with George C. Scott. See there? Ooh. And it said 97 souls boarded the airship, but only 62 survived, which is pretty good. I didn't know that. I mean, when you see that thing coming down, I mean, it's it's brutal. It still lives in infamy, right? I mean, I remember the reporter, and there was something about the reporter too that I learned as well. But yeah, okay. Uh, Only Odyssey I know of is the game console. Yeah, and well, try to fix that, Casey. Listen to the Odyssey by Symphony X. It's so worth it. It's one of the best performances I think of Russell Allen throughout their career. Not that he didn't get, I mean, didn't still do cool stuff after that with Symphony X. Still doing cool stuff with Symphony X. Um, but just some great stuff. He gets bluesy on there, and the song "Wicked" is one of my favorites. But the whole damn thing, it's a great album. That's it. Great album, front to back. Great album. So the Hindenburg. So anyway, I have a personal tie to this one because I just watched a filming of a play with William Shatner in it, and Jack Cassidy, and also the skipper was in it. Uh, he didn't say a word throughout the whole thing, but you've seen some of these other character actors as well that were in the film. But like I say, it was a play, and George C. Scott directed it, and it was about the Andersonville trial, where they talked about in the Civil War they had the prisoner of war camp where people were mistreated. And also, we just lost David Soul not long ago, and I watched that film about him on YouTube, and I found Salem's Lot on Blu-ray. At first, I saw it there, and of course, I wasn't going to get it because I already own it. And I'm like, it doesn't matter if it's in a plastic case. But then I looked closely and saw it was a Blu-ray, and I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. And at $5, I got it for $5. And let's remember, I got this one for 2.5 bucks. So, and they're sealed. Some of them some things there are previously viewed, like I do believe this is. So something old and something new. So let's go with this. And this is the Todd Wolfe Band. I'd never heard of it. It was $2.50, so I figured why not? I checked them out on Spotify, or was it on whatever Apple Music? I think it was actually. So I checked them out, and it's good. It's great blues, fun blues stuff. So I found it and it cost me 2.5 bucks. Todd Wolfe Band live, and that's Wolf with an E. Actually, there's an E hidden behind there. So if you're going to look it up on to listen to, It's great stuff. There's a couple of tracks that they do that I want to do in my band because it's a blues inspired band. So there's your something new, something borrowed, something new, or something old, something new. The borrowed is going to come up in a minute because of how I purchased this next one. But look at this. Then something blue. I found Sonic the Hedgehog. And look, it only cost me $2 on Blu-ray. It says previously viewed. So, yeah. I, you know, let's see. What do we got here? Yeah. Wait, what? Wait. Hold on. Hold on. Symphony X The Odyssey is what I meant. But what are some good Odyssey games in Television Gamer? Yeah, what do you like as far as that? Jeff is a big Odyssey fan as well. He's I've actually when we've gone to conventions, I've actually looked for different Odyssey things for him. And also when I went to Bodax, 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 oddly enough, is not far from Hodax. So if you want to come and go to a really cool video game store here in St. Louis, come down here. You can go to or come up here, wherever you are, come over here, just get here. And there's Bodax, which is down on the South Broadway, and it's in an old bank building, and they have it's known for one of the biggest vaults in St. Louis. So it's maybe in the country. Nah, I think it's just in St. Louis, but it's the big round door, and it opens up. I have video of that. I'll dig that up and show it to you. And maybe I'll put it on my next gameplay thing because I'm going to do a gameplay probably today for the end of spring break. Go back to work tomorrow. And then we have a 4-day week. And then Good Friday hits. And then April is coming. And then May is here. And we don't even work all the way through May. So almost done. That's why I wasn't worried about spring break ending because I'm like, whatever. Sooner you get back, sooner you're done. Right? Right. St. Louis is well, there you go. We'll see in what, about 4 hours? Is that about right? Maybe one of these days we'll have one of those traveling systems that will get you here and, poof, in a matter of a couple of hours from where you are. Odyssey 2 isn't that bad. Yeah, I think Odyssey 2 is what mainly that might be more of what Jeff was getting. Because I thought about that too. All right, so let's see. Let's go in chronological order. So I'll stick with this, and then I'll show you the last two things. So look at this. I'm walking around the store, and have you ever been perusing a store and just you don't know where you want to look, and you're just looking around for different things, and then you go to a certain area, and you're like, it's always when I think I should leave is when I find something really crazy cool. And you're like, ooh, I'm glad I did the deep dive. It's kind of like when I'm looking through all those DVDs and I'm like, okay, at some point you're finding everything you already own, or you're finding stuff you would never, ever even watch. Right. Or you saw it and you're like, that's an hour and a half. I'll never get back. So, but then you're like, well, if I don't dig, I'm never going to find something cool. And that was a situation on this. I stepped up to the front. I turned to my right and was just looking at a shelf of stuff going, yeah, there's nothing. Hey, wait a minute. What is that? And I look up on the top of the shelf unit, and what did I find but a big old piece of vinyl? Now, Drew, remember what we were talking about last night? What was the last thing we were talking about? I just mentioned it earlier. So what was the last thing we were talking about last night? We were talking about Mr. Man himself. Are you ready? Mr. Garth Brooks. And look at this. This is this legacy thing. All right. I remember Garth Brooks. Or did you mean I remember Garth Brooks? Oh man, I'm not old enough for records, but I have my parents and I love vinyl. There you go. Nice. You do have this, huh? Can you do me a favor? How much did it cost you? And are they all the same? Is every one of them the same? Are there multiple legacy things? Because this is what's in this one, which has, all right, so it has No Fences, which is not one of my favorites. This doesn't have my all-time favorite and the first album that I ever heard by Garth Brooks. It doesn't have Rope in the Wind. I'd really like to have that on vinyl. You don't know much about it. Okay. You bought the pack. So yeah, there's multiple boxes. Uh, got to get that camera in there. Wait a minute. Got to get that camera in there. Is that okay? I'm not figuring that out. So anyway, yeah. So it was sitting up on the shelf, and it was literally collecting dust. I had to dust this off. Um, and I'd never heard of this. I didn't know what it was. I figured it was vinyl. But this piece was actually on the bottom like this. So it wasn't wrapped all the way around, but it had this on the bottom. But this is No Fences, which is the second record. Not my favorite time for Garth because it was still a little too country for me. And then he kind of with Rope in the Wind, he broke out a little bit, and he had Shameless was on there by Billy Joel. He covered that, and then it went on and had The Chase. Is that right? Is the next one? Yeah, The Chase, and then In Pieces. Those were Rope in the Wind, which is right in here. In Pieces, and I just said it, and In Pieces and The Chase. Those are my favorite times right there. Those three records. Um, but then I've never heard Fresh Horses, and then it has this triple live album on it. So let's take a look here. Let's open this up. Look at that vinyl. You gotta love it. Let's put that back here. Should we turn on our light now? Yay! What color do you guys like? Blue. I like blue. Um, so I pull this out at home and take a look at it. Um, yeah, he really did have an amazing career, and what a great way to live through it. I mean, he's had his situations where, with like, hey, I'm married. Hey, now I'm not married. Hey, I'm married to this other superstar, right? And now, whoop, now we're not married anymore. Um, but he was able to take a long break from his huge career. It's very much like the Police, where he's like on the top and doing great, and then was like, okay, bye, I gotta go. It's I'm done for a while, and I get that. He worked hard and he did it. You know what I'm saying? Even had a label, and Chris Ledoux was on that, and I enjoy Chris Ledoux as well. Again, I'm not a country guy, but I knew where these guys were influenced, and Garth Brooks, uh, when Rope in the Wind came out, that's when I was getting into him, and uh, also I'd been working at a trophy company, which is the place where I drove by my old job. That's what I was trying to say earlier too, is I drove by my old job, and I don't know what it was. It was indiscreet. There was no name on the building. There was nothing, but there were lots of trucks. So, but I was like, oh, I'm going to drive by there and see what's going on. Nothing. So, so anyway, but yeah, this is a great package. I mean, I haven't even told you what I spent on it, because that's part of the borrowed. So then we have the Chase. So it's great. These are brand spanking new. There we go. I've only had these in CD form. And we got Fresh Horses. I'm kind of eager to know why this photo, why just his eye for fresh horses. Now there's the surprise. So I'm not going to show you that just yet, because that was a major surprise. Not that this next part wasn't a major surprise. Let's see if we can fit these, put these right up here. There we go. I think that should do it. There we go. All right. But look at this. This was a big surprise. This fold out, it's a trifold, kind of like Yes, when they did Yes songs. So there we go. A whole bunch of live pictures, and it's 3 live vinyl. It's the big celebration. It's the historic celebration. The 7 diamond celebration is what they called it. I'm just going to put that there. I know it's in front of the light, blah, blah, blah. But look at this. It was in between all the vinyls, and it's everything in there. It's kind of like the 6x6 album. It's everything in there, all of those albums, including this, on CD. So you get not only all the vinyls, but you get this sleeve that has all the CDs. There's the triple live album right there. So, and I'm wondering, it'd be really cool, but it's not going to happen. I'd love to look at one of these, and it would be a DVD of the live show. That would be really, really cool, but it won't be. But that would be neat. That's probably something else you have to buy, right? But yeah, so I have 2 of these CDs. So yeah, but really neat idea. So the cool thing was the borrowed part is, and he zaps it in, and I'm like, how much is it? And he goes, it's $29.95, I think, or something like that, whatever. And I was like, oh, well, I didn't know if I wanted to do it. I spent enough. I still got to watch the budget. It's not like you just go, well, sure, why not? But I knew it was a good price. I didn't know what all was in it. I didn't even know what was in it. I just knew that it had those albums on vinyl. I didn't know that it had a triple live vinyl. I didn't know that the CDs were included. And so I was like, and he goes, you know what? I got a $5 coupon here. He goes, I'll just zap that in, take $5 off. I'm like, that would be great. I'm in. So $25. You just never know, right? You just never know. And it was my blue light special. Garth had an eclectic career. He did. He did. We're actually going to be doing Shameless by Billy Joel soon in my band. And he covered it. We won't be, I don't think I'm going to be covering I won't be like doing it his way, even though sometimes my mom used to say that I have kind of a, you want to play with Trisha Yearwood? Yes. Oh man. Live in a cowboy capital of the world, Oakdale. Yeah, exactly. Right. Never, it doesn't hurt. And it was a great find. I look forward to muscling that into my collection soon. That's another thing I'm going to be doing. Keep your eyes open. I'm going to be doing a video, and I'll probably just do the video, and I may just play the video while I talk over the background of it, or in the background of it, shall I say. So then I stopped in after I went to the Dollar General and went to do my main errand, getting the medicine for my dog. Then I was driving down the road. I was going to go to Aldi next and get some berries. And then I saw my old library where I used to go and where I met my friend who works at the library. And then to see what they had on sale. And I don't normally get these because I'm going to transfer these. I'm getting back into my transferring stuff. And so I'm going to capture these and then put them on and have at least have a good digital file of them, and then probably see if I can put them onto a DVD again. But I found these Slipstream starring Jethro Tull on VHS. So I have to read up on this. I am not familiar with this, but then they also had this. So I thought, what the heck? I'll just get them both and I'll do a capture of them. I used to do that. That's the way I ended up with having FM, the movie. If you've never seen it, make sure you do yourself a favor and do that. If you're a big music head, because it's got lots of cool cameos. It's got a cameo from Tom Petty, cameo by Tom Petty is interviewed for his first album on there, and by Cassie Yates. And then you get to see Jimmy Buffett live. We just lost him recently. And you get to see Linda Ronstadt live. And REO Speedwagon does a cameo at Tower Records autographing their live album. And Bruce Hall had just joined the band. So when I met Bruce, I was like, dude, you joined at just the right time. You got to be in the movie. You got to go on tour for the live record. It was, all that stuff. So it's a great, great timing for him. So I think that's about it. I'll get that video going because I have to get these new vinyls put into my list and then put into the collection. Fortunately, I've got a good chunk of space down here. So it's, I'm trying to keep this thing breathing and keep it all here. But in the meantime, then I'm going to be doing some, I have some boxes that I'm using because you see my new shelves that I just put in yesterday. Casey was here last night when on a Go game night, late night gaming, I went ahead and put in this bottom shelf. I put in this higher one earlier, and then we had 2 more brackets. I put these on last night. So I love it. Yes. So one of the things we're looking forward to is getting back down to Florida. We had a place in Fort Myers Beach where we used to visit on the reg. It's been a family tradition for many, many years, for decades now. And unfortunately, it got really slammed by that storm down there. The hurricane just blew everything away and really truly decimated the area. Badly. There were places that we had visited that were just not even there anymore. Foliage and all kinds of things were just taken out. Fortunately, our complex was able to rebuild. They're rebuilding now. I just saw some really cool photos yesterday of how they're rehabbing and they're redoing things. And it's going to be brilliant. We're hoping to get back there. But Jimmy Buffett, they were putting in a Margaritaville there. And it's one of the things that survived. I think it was still in they were still constructing it. So, but when we were there, they were buying up all of the property across the street. So all these little shops were closing down so that they could put in a big parking lot. They have to put in a parking deck and a thing that goes over the top. It'll be good for the area. And I'm eager to see what we call Times Square looks like, because down there they had tons of shops, bars, restaurants. They had a little performance area there where people would go, magicians, music acts, whatever, would use this space to do their deal. So it is a little chilly down here, so my coffee's getting cold. But yeah. So that's that. So I have to get those in and get my vinyl put in. It's going to be a little bit of a process. So I'm going to get this area cleaned up and do that video probably today to get everything in and do the staining of the boxes so I can get my boxes back in. And there's a lot to do. All right, you guys, thank you for hanging this morning. Thank you for your comments. I really appreciate it. And great to see you, Casey. Great to see you, Drew. And then we will look forward to seeing you guys again soon. All right. keep an eye out tonight. I'll probably do one last late night gaming session, and then have a little fun then. So we'll see you soon. Take it easy and look forward to the rest. And that's it. We're out.